Jeff Sass from Datamatic
Michael Sheehan from HighTechDad.com.
and both of us from the Cast of Dads podcast. And we're here, I'll give you 3 guesses where we are. Intel. We're inside Intel. We're at Intel headquarters in Santa Clara, California for the Intel Upgrade Your Life event. And I feel like I have upgraded.
I know my brain kind of hurts a little bit. I don't think I have enough room to upgrade everything.
No, it's really interesting, and this is the second time I've been to this event. And you know, when you think of Intel, of course you think of the microprocessors and the chips that they're known for. But what you realize when you step inside the organization a little bit is that there's an incredible amount of research and people stuff that goes on behind the scenes that has nothing to do with the chip itself, but leads to understanding how technology and how the use of technology can really improve or upgrade our lives. And we learned a lot today about everything from healthcare to education to what else?
Well, yeah, for me, the biggest thing is, okay, you think of the chip and the Intel inside, and it's not about that anymore. I mean, it really is, like you said, about people. I've always been impressed by the diversity as you walk down the halls. I mean, it's the world, you know, literally within the walls here. And one of the things that we saw today that I thought was particularly interesting was the modern day archaeological dig of a car, for example. So as you're trying to understand how people use their car beyond just going from point A to point B, you're also seeing how their lives kind of evolve in a car. You know, why do they have this thing shoved into this particular
And by
pocket?
excavating, he said literally they took out, they had people unload everything that was inside
From around
cars.
the world.
And literally everything, from every nook and cranny in the car, and then kind of examining what that is and what that means to how people use cars and how people use technology in cars. And one of the interesting findings was you can't think of it from the driver's perspective, because actually most of the people, or many people who use technology in a car are the passengers, or the kids in the backseat, or people you're carpooling. So it was really, really interesting.
Yeah, so moving that technology, so now, you know, you get into a car nowadays and all the equipment is sort of focused on, you know, the driver's side, and that can lead to distracted driving. Now they're looking beyond that. So how can someone all the way in the back, you know, use it better? Maybe the dog will use something.
And teams of researchers, you know, looking at people. What I also thought was interesting today is we talked a lot about colors, because we had a presentation called Green is the New Black, and learned about green technology and how Intel is really doing a lot to improve, you know, environmental consumption and things like, you know, the first billion computers sold as compared to the second billion. The second billion computers sold will have 17% more processing power, yet use half the energy required. So a lot of things like that. So green is the new black, but then we also learned that gray is the new green, because gray technology serving the older population globally is going to be a big area of growth, and that related to the health stuff, which was really interesting in terms of using sensors, smart sensors that are wirelessly connected to the cloud, in homes, in walkers that can tell how much pressure someone's putting on a walker, so you understand, you know, maybe they're not feeling well today because they're pushing down harder than they usually do. Just really fascinating uses of technology, not just in a computer, but in our daily lives and improving our daily lives.
Right, and also how they're doing an outreach to other countries around the world to get technology into the hands of orphans and you know, children around the world to really educate them in something that they've never seen before, and teach them, you know, how hard do you have to push on a key, you know, to make it work, and what can it do for you?
I mean, we could do an hour-long show now, which we're not going to do, because this is, you know, Cast of Dads, 2/5 of the Cast of Dads. So look forward to a lot of content and follow-up of some of the things that we learned from this day with Intel. It's really pretty interesting, and we thank you, Intel, we thank you for flying us out here, or Michael drove up, but I was flown out, and letting us spend the day with you. We appreciate your support, and happy to share all this with you.
Great, and where can they find out about it?
So you can find us at, of course, you can find me at Datamatic.com, and of course at CastofDads.com for the Cast of Dads podcast.
And I'm at HighTechDad.com. And Intel is Intel.com.
Okay.